It's officially a new year, and this is that time of year where we try to look at how we acted over the previous year, some of the things we did, and make resolutions to do things in a new way. And I think we can also do that as Auburn football fans. I think we can always improve. And so I wrote down a couple of things that I think we can do as a fan base to make being an Auburn fan a lot more enjoyable. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on these resolutions I wrote down. So here are 5 New Year's resolutions for Auburn fans. The first one I wrote down is I will not call for Hugh Freeze to be fired in his first year as head coach at Auburn. And the reason I wrote this one down, and I think this is the most important one, is no matter what happens this upcoming season, what we need to remember is that this is his first year at Auburn. This is going to be a rebuilding year. It's a transition year. He's already shown that he made a lot out of very little as far as recruiting goes, because what the previous coach left him was he did not leave him in a very good state, but he was able to salvage the recruiting class and ended up getting us in the top 20 as far as early signing day goes. So he's already shown some improvement there. And we need to make sure that when the actual season starts, there's going to be some games that we think we should win that we don't win. We might sneak out a few wins that we didn't expect to get, but overall, we need to make sure that we're not calling for the firing of a guy in his first year. Who knows, he could have an incredible first year, but no matter what, let's not call for him to be fired. I think that's a reasonable point of view, because at some point, guys, what we've got to do, we've had, within the past 2.5 years, we've had 3 different head coaches. Think about that. 3 different head coaches. At some point, we've got to get a coach in place that can stay here, that can do well, and that can actually develop a good program. In Nick Saban's first year at Alabama, remember he only won 7 games. It took him a minute to turn that team around. So I think Hugh Freeze, not trying to compare the two, but just to say that we don't necessarily need to set the expectation that he's going to win the national championship in his first year as coach at Auburn. So first New Year's resolution is don't call for the coach to be fired right away. Give him a chance to get things done. All right. Number two. This is one that I've noticed is a major problem, especially on Twitter, a little bit on Facebook, but more so Twitter, because that's where the players are. So the second New Year's resolution I want to mention is it's okay to tweet about the sport, but let's not tweet at the players. I see a lot of people when they're upset, when they're angry, they think it's okay to tweet their anger directly at the players. Guys, these are still college kids. And while, yes, some of them may be making money to do this now because of NIL, they're still college kids. They still get, a little more emotional than adults may get. They're going to beat themselves up as it is. They don't need you adding to this and making it worse. So show a little maturity. Let's not tweet directly at the college football players. Let's not tweet directly at them and make them feel worse than they probably already do. Like I said, criticism is one thing, criticizing play is one thing, talking about the sport, about the team, that's one thing. But when you take it as far as tweeting or messaging players directly to tell them how you're upset, that's too far. So I think that's where we've got to draw the line at least. That shouldn't be that hard. Put your thoughts out on Twitter, whatever, that's fine. But just don't send it directly to the players. That's weird. Don't be weird. Number 3. Number 3, I put praise the players and coaches. And here's what I mean by that. I see a lot of people who have no problem letting people know when they're mad and they're upset about something. But then the second things are going well, they keep their mouth shut. I think it's okay to tell the players and the coaches that they're doing a good job. That's fine. That's only going to build up the team. It's going to build up the players, and it will help the team as a whole. So if it's going to be something that's going to help the team and help the players, by all means, do it. Please do that. But, and I'm not saying you can't be critical of the play. with my previous comment. I'm just saying, tone it back a little bit. They're going to hear the bad stuff anyway, so we need to try to drown out some of the bad with a little bit of good. And I know some of you are not going to like to hear that, but you can be quiet. Number four. Number four is a very tough one, especially in the spring. From January through about July, we have a major problem with sunshine pumping. And what I mean by that is we have a very hard time with being realistic. And I'm already seeing it start. I already see fans talking about how we're going to win 9, 10, 11 games next year. Chill out a little bit. Calm down, chill out. You cannot set the bar right at the top when the coach just got here. Yes, we want to be here, but let's be a little realistic. We won 6 games last year. We won 5 games this year. If you say that Hugh Freeze is going to come in and automatically we're winning 9, 10, 11, tone it down just a little bit. I think it's okay if you predict, I think we might win 6, 7, 8 games. That's in the realm of realism. We haven't seen anything else to make us think we're going to win more than 6, 7, 8 games. Could we? Absolutely. But to set the expectation at the top, it's only going to lead to disappointment. I would rather set the expectation at a realistic place where we're pushing it just a little bit, but not at a place to where if we don't reach it, we're just going to be completely miserable because we didn't get there. It's not even fathomable or realistic to say we're going to win the national championship next year. And people are already saying that. I'm like, guys, chill out just a little bit. So keep your expectations reasonable. It's okay to be positive, but let's not be crazy. And then my final New Year's resolution for Auburn fans, and I think this should be one that we can all agree on, or at least I hope it is. And this is one that some of our fan base has a really hard time with. And that is, I think we need to find joy in Auburn football. Guys, we've got to realize at the end of the day, this is supposed to be entertainment. It's a game, it's entertainment, which means we're supposed to enjoy it. And if, as a fan, you're just being completely miserable as a person, you're kind of sucking the fun out of this for everybody. So try to make sure when you are on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're at the games in real life. Yes, we can be upset. Yes, we can get emotional. I do the same thing. I get very wrapped up in the game. So you guys have seen me after games and how I feel sometimes. But ultimately, as a whole, if you're not, at the end of the day, after all said and done, finding joy in the sport, you might need to look at doing something else and following something else. So those are my 5 New Year's resolutions for Auburn fans. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments what you think Auburn fans should be making resolutions about. Thank you for watching this one. I know it's a little different, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please smash the like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.